let me know when you're on. Let's see what happens today. Bum, bum, bum. Letting them open. Let me know when somebody's on. I'm just waiting to see if anybody logs on here. This is the first time I'm doing this, so it's going to be a test to see if this is going well or not. So this morning we had a great gap up because of Meta, because of Microsoft, great earnings. We had a big push up. Looking at the half gap, I'm going to put an alert here to see if we come down to fill that half gap and then bounce up. So that's a possibility. Or it's possible we come down to fill one of these gaps that we pushed through and continue back up. So right now it's just trying to figure out what it wants to do. If it drops, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's one of those things that we're going to drop and find our footing. So our SPY calls, I did a call debit yesterday. Those are up 30%. I did those for next week. And those are up nicely. Tesla is starting to move up. Let me just let you guys know. Okay, because that was an overnight play, very quick. And let's see, Meta is still struggling a bit here. Okay. The call debit part of the move is up 97. I just need to put debit to 100% actually. It just hit. I did a quick call debit yesterday. I did a position to protect the downside just in case. I always like doing a protective side with these plays because you don't know if it's actually going to work out for earnings. So you need to have a protective play in case you're wrong. You don't want to be completely wrong. Right, Apple's starting to push up. There was some fake news about Tesla, that they're finding a new CEO, but that's not true apparently. All right, so Meta's trying to come down a little bit. Microsoft is holding. Amazon is holding. Google's not looking too hot, and futures are kind of trying to decide. Let's look at Bookmap. See, did anybody hop on? All right, SPY, let's see. Just put in the tickers that I usually look at so that they're populated. So there is some support here, but it looks like it's just trying to find its footing. Like I said, it doesn't know what it wants to do yet. Meta came down to hit some support. Microsoft hit a wall there. Palantir. Palantir has support also. See video. NVIDIA has resistance, lots of resistance, some support here. And I have CNBC on the back, and here just listening to the news. All right. Look at the charts. Nice bounce. I'm just waiting now. I want to wait too early to get in. Can this get above the 200? Are we just going to reject? That looks like a nice candle. DMI is pointing up. Our balance of market power is pointing up. So that's good. Let's look again. There is no real resistance, a little bit at 56.50. NQ seems a bit weaker, so that may hold us up. VIX is still in the same range. So there's a trend line here. If we break this, remember with the VIX it's opposite, so if we get some red to the downside to this support, red means green, we'll get a push up. But if this holds here, the support goes up, green means red, we're going to drop. So it's an inverse relationship they have. Okay, I'm getting an alert for APP. All right, let's see what's cracking here on the markets. What's green? Some Visa, some Apple, IBM on the Dow. Nasdaq, we have Palantir, GE Health, which I would buy some if people don't have that in their accounts for long term. I would buy that's something you buy and you keep. ARM, okay, I'll look at ARM. All right, Wingstop. Okay. Regeneron. Okay, Cement is starting to drop. Spotify. Okay. All right, so we held the support here on the trend line. Green means red, right? That's why I'm afraid to get the call side right now because I think we're overextended. The probabilities is that, and look at the 200, which I love the 200. Chances are we're going to reject here and come on down. Let me see if is anybody else on here? Let's see. Okay, we have two people. All right, can you talk on this or no? I don't know if I can change it. We'll have to do that. That's something I'll have to figure out how to view. Or if you want to talk in the chat, I'll look here. Okay, so I'm still waiting. Tesla's holding. Amazon's holding. Apple's starting to perk up a little bit, which is good. That'll bring the rest of the market up. Hopefully, if we can hold. Do a scan real quick. Meta, of course, we have calls. Microsoft, the Lilly puts. Lots of Meta calls. So they're going out to May, so they think there's more continuation on this. Okay, Qs are starting to drop. I'll take a look. So people are thinking more continuation, which I agree. I think we just get a little retracement down. AVGO calls, APP calls, Qualcomm puts, Amazon calls, MU calls, AMD. All right. And let me check my list for today. What's on the docket here? So 10 o'clock we have PMI, ISM, manufacturing prices, construction spending. So we'll see if we don't get a move. I'm going to wait till 10 o'clock. We have 11:30 4-week bill auction and 8-week bill auction, which probably won't move it as much. Maybe the 8-week because it's nah. Maybe we'll see if that moves it. Let's see. Be very, very patient today. So we're pinned in the middle. Google's starting to drop. See how Qs are weaker? I think Qs are going to be the ones that bring us down. So we have the support at 481 on Q, so that's the level we need to look at. 481 down here. I'll just put it at 4, just to give me a heads up. See, all right. I wonder why. See if there's a way to edit. I can only do that. Let's see. I'm gonna have to figure this out later. How to change it. If anybody knows, let me know. Playlist category. Hold on, let's see. Oh, okay. I wonder if I put it's if I put that it's not for kids. Is that what it is? Child safety. So, you know. Live chat. All right, so you can send messages. Okay, see if that helps. If you can. Why is this disabled? Try talking and see if it works. That's annoying if you can't. I may have to switch over until I figure out how to do that to Zoom. All right, so we're getting a push back up. That's good. We're still in the chop zone, so I'm just waiting, right? I don't want to get into any ridiculous trades and lose money, so I'm going to just wait. We're in the chop zone. We haven't broken to the downside. If we get above the 200, I'll consider getting into calls. Let's look at the orb. Okay. This may give us a move. So the global US farm is a little bit lower. Let me double check Bookmap. I kind of like the upside. 561.40. 561.40. Just want to wait a minute because it's kind of a nowhere's land here. VIX is starting to break down. It just doesn't have that much room. It could possibly move up here. DMI just kind of turns sideways. Explains the wick. Amazon actually looks a little weaker. And it's under all these EMAs, so keep an eye on that in case we start dropping. I'm going to put one here in case this thing wants to start tanking for whatever reason. Microsoft is holding. Meta needs to get above all these EMAs to keep going. Apple may be looking somewhat decent. And Google's looking a little bit weak. I don't know if this is about to just come down, double bottom, and then take off. Okay. Because like a DMI, if I want to play calls, I need this to drop, the VIX to drop. And this DMI just turned on us. Maybe I should put volume on this. I wonder why it's not showing. It's weird. Don't know why the volume's not showing for that, but I'll fix it later. Okay. So, still the same spot. Google. So Amazon decided to turn around. But I'm just concerned this is going to come up here and come back down. So keep an eye on that. And same thing with Google. They come back down. Alright, so we're rejecting, but there's big support there. NQ wants to drop. Yes, holding. Interesting. Yeah, I'm waiting for 10 o'clock because we do have PMI. So we're still waiting. Would it be better for me to do this on Zoom so you can talk until I figure out the settings? Let me know. Green DMI starting to a little bit tick up, but not much. Okay, they're trying to push it down. To turn up. There is resistance here, which again, we're still going to be stuck. Even if this moves up to hit this 300, we're still stuck in this area. But those are nice big red candles. DMI has turned to the red side. Both of them have green for VIX. These are a little bit expensive. $241 for the 560. Not that I'm entering it. Just looking at the pricing of these. That call debit is up 33%, so I'm going to take a little bit off of that. Come on. Okay, Amazon is below. Starting to go, starting to crack a little bit. But 3 minutes till news. Being cautious here because of the news. If not, I would have taken this already because I did like this top here. The VIX actually broke the 300, pushing up. This looks good. Qs look weaker. But let's look at ES. Where can it go? Where can it drop to? Let's look at the 15. This kind of lines up the half gap, which I call, because it's the level that we closed from yesterday, where we opened today. It's a half gap. So I think we could possibly come down, hit this, and then bounce. If we did come back down here, it'll be okay, because this was because of the news. It would be fine for it to come down, still hold, and then take off. Maybe come down somewhere in the middle, somewhere there. It's still fine. It's not that I would be like, oh no, forget it. We're going into recession or whatever. Okay, so they're starting to drop. $10, so we got it. There we get the bounce. Look at that. Just see what the news is. So they were looking for 48, get 48.7. And this is a little bit below. Pricing is below. This is better. Construction spending is below, though. That's not good. That does mean the economy is slowing down. Okay, let's wait to see how it reacts.
ISM, all the manufacturing PMIs. We just received S&P Global a quarter of an hour ago. On the headline number for manufacturing, expecting 47.9, comes in better, 48.7. But do remember, this is the second consecutive read now under 50, although January and
That's what he's talking about here.
So
Came in better.
Manufacturing expansion momentum with regard to 50, of course, being that line between expansion and contraction. Prices paid. Here's a number we want to go down, but it's been awfully stubborn to the upside, expecting a number over 70. So the good news, it's under 70, 69.8. The issue is that 69.8 is still basically some of the highest levels that we've seen going all the way back to the summer of 22. When you get beyond our previous read, which was 69.4, so you've had back-to-back readings that basically are comp into mid-22, that isn't necessarily good news. And it does underscore the upswing in all the inflation metrics. The issue here is maybe these surveys aren't going to be as accurate as some of the more harder data points. Now, let's have new orders, shall we? 47.2, better than expected. That would be the third best reading of the year. And if we look at it, we'll comp to January. And finally, employment. What a week for employment. We have ADP a little light yesterday. We had the big jobs report tomorrow from Bureau of Labor Statistics.
So,
and we end up with
still trying to figure it out.
46.5. It is below 50, and that would be the lightest read, well, just from last month, which was 44.7. We also had construction spending, always 2 months in arrears. This is a March number, but it's down 0.5%, which means it's now exactly the same as January, where we started the year down 0.5%. To find a lower number, you have to go to September. Rates are moving up a little bit after moving down on what was a perception of a weaker labor market and some of those claims numbers this morning. Sarah, back to you.
The headline is manufacturing holds up a little better than expected, even though we're still contracting with the overall. Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, but it's still under 50, unfortunately.
True. Yep. Rick Santelli, thank you. Also, the prices paid, as Rick reported, not as high as perhaps expected. We watched that as an inflation gauge. Rick also mentioned the data earlier on jobs, very important because that's what the Fed is watching to see really when it will cut, as long as inflation behaves itself. If there's any concern in jobs numbers, we'll get the big government report tomorrow on jobs, but we did get jobless claims, guys, and they were elevated.
We're still in the chop zone, so I'm waiting.
Factors here, and 1 week does not a trend make, but you know, when you see a number rise like this, it's worth paying attention to. They rose to 241,000 from 223,000 Americans filing for jobless claims last week, and it was well above the estimate. It was above most of economists' estimates for the number. Now, one caveat is that claims rose sharply in New York, by about 15,500. In New York
All right,
City,
come on, do
workers
something.
are able to apply for benefits during winter and spring breaks, and this did coincide with the spring break.
So that happens every year, we think?
Yeah, I mean, that could it could be, you know, a little more stress in the system means they are more likely to apply, right? So it's just worth watching, because if these numbers do start to remain elevated or go up, then that's what the Fed's going to pay attention to. But it was also a weird week.
Kind of looking at the upside here. If we can get above that 561.40,
some higher claims. I mean, it happened in Maryland and
that looks good.
DC area. Continuing claims also, which is a good
We have
proxy for
resistance
the number of people that are continuing to receive
56.62, but we have support here.
rising. That's been elevated. It also
But really,
rose
it's this
to 1.92
561.40
billion
we
in a
need
week,
the
and
break.
that's the highest since 2021. So that's, you know, worth watching as well. I always, you know, also what comes out is the Challenger Grand Christmas number. So it's a private survey of employment there, where they also look at job cuts. And we did see a drop in that number, which was good because it was really elevated last time because of the
Let's see if we can break.
job cuts. But I
For that, we really need this VIX to break this support here.
they did say, well, the government
This is
cuts
the
are front and
100.
center.
It has the
Job
trend
cuts
line.
across sectors last month.
It has the 200
Generally,
right
companies are citing
here.
the economy and new technology. Employers are slow to hire and limiting hiring plans as they wait and see what will happen.
So we'll
with
wait.
trade, supply chain,
It looks like it's starting to reject again from this level.
Major drop-offs, but this kind of commentary, which is not surprising given the environment we're in, is worth watching. And certainly the Fed will be watching it, and we'll see what they say about it next week.
Yeah, new technology. Does that mean AI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It means AI.
Again, very early days to really get any sense as to what and how many people AI is going to replace.
But if you're in this
Initially,
period where like optimization is something you can control, where you can control your own costs, and you have a solution via
no doubt.
technology
I think
now.
this is, in fact, right. The current environment, the uncertainty, the tariffs, whatever they may end up being, it's going to push companies to look for efficiencies. Now we know they would anyway, but perhaps they move even more quickly towards trying to grab a hold of some of the tools that are going to be more and more available from the likes of a Microsoft, for example, of course.
Yeah.
I mentioned the stock of which is still at 9%, it's up 9% this
Come
morning.
on.
Because it will present efficiencies and help them grow their margins
It's
and
interesting,
without
yeah.
hiring any new people.
And maybe why the AI spending may buck the sort of cyclical trend that enterprise spending goes through when things slow down, which is companies pull back. As for what they're saying about the environment out there, I mean, Hershey, let's do Hershey.
I really hate these mornings that we just kind of sit here. So the 5 minute, let's see how we're still in this little range. We haven't moved. So we hit the 23. We could even come down to this 38 where the 300 is. Bounce. Could come and fill this wick at the 60 level, 61 level. Or just do 50 if we're going to drop.
Here's what McDonald's is saying on that same-store sales slump, the worst it's seen in years. Actual industry traffic fell more than we anticipated in several of our large markets, including the U.S. Traffic from the low-income cohort was down nearly double digits versus the
Right, the balance of power is still green, but these are the momentum is intertwined, so we can't really see. The volume is okay, but we're holding. I still kind of think Amazon is going to drop, honestly. But let's see. Let me look at. If we start dropping, I think that's the first one to really go. 187 support, slight support at 187.50. The SPY still has that resistance. Some support, but not overly. Not until 557.60. 57.60, somewhere down here. Let's see. There was another one that I had. Where'd it go? I wonder why I didn't bring it up. There was another one that I had. Another of these indicators. Let's see how this one was looking. Usually with this indicator, I don't use this that much, but I'm just trying to see if it works. If it's below these lines, you would go puts. If it's above it, you would go calls. But even that, it's not even giving me too much. The VIX is still holding.
I think it was a lot better than anyone would have thought. The enterprise demand's holding up. The
Qs really
margins
look
are holding
weaker.
up. They've said that they can monetize AI stronger than they did even in the cloud world. So they're showing no signs of backing off on capex. There was a huge fear of a lot of data points that they were pulling back at data centers. That is not the case when you talk to them internally. That they're optimizing their inventory rather than pulling back. So I think you got a great print both top and bottom line. I think the big surprise is that they're seeing enterprise strength even in April. And so no one really cared about what happened in the quarter. They care more about the forecast and are they seeing any of these tariff impacts to numbers? They were very clear there is no impact in the enterprise yet. And I think everyone is skeptical, including myself, that if McDonald's and United and Delta and all these companies are basically pulling back and saying we're seeing lower demand, how would you see IT demand as strong in the back half of the year? So I do think there's a delayed reaction in software. The good news is we're
See
not
if there's
seeing
anything
it.
else
SAP,
moving.
ServiceNow, Microsoft, even Meta on their capex raise. You're really not seeing big signs yet.
And the guidance from
Still
Meta
the
as
same
well.
ones.
I mean, again, perhaps
RCL
defying
is
some other
new.
expectations of a slowdown that might
Snow.
result again in companies cutting back on their
Where's Snow?
advertising. I mean, their guidance
Snow
didn't seem to
calls.
indicate that at all, did it?
Dash calls.
No pullback. I mean, it was
TSM calls.
a
Reddit
between
calls.
Snap and what
Alright,
Meta
let's see.
said. And I think Meta comes back to they have the best ROI for advertisers. They have the strongest community of users. And they have so many different touch points in their platform. They're not one product, they're multiple products. So Meta, I think another shocker when you
Netflix
advertising
actually
is
looks
the
good
first thing
here.
you see that goes. And the only indication of
Palantir,
weakness in the
no.
advertising landscape is China, which makes sense that they wouldn't be advertising strongly on the platform. So that was really the only issue.
Let me see how much
They
Netflix
lowered
is.
expense by $1 billion,
Is it
but raised
expensive? If
capex
it's too
by $5
expensive, I won't
billion.
do it.
And I think
Probably
it goes
still
back to
is.
the big question
Yep,
is
it's too
why are
expensive.
all these tech companies spending like the railroad companies building these tracks? When are we going to see a return? And what I think every one of these companies is saying is we're seeing the return, we have pricing power, we have good margins, and we're not. There's no fear factor that Wall Street is making that's showing up in any of the numbers yet. So again, very solid across both sides. I think it's again somewhat of a
Booking
shocker
Holdings,
relative to what
BKNG.
expectations were, and again, good to see good numbers.
Are they spending more to compete with the Chinese e-commerce, which we're just hearing more about, and that Chinese AI companies like a DeepSeek, and should that be a source of investor angst?
Right,
And overpay?
Dash.
For Meta, we've said if you believe in DeepSeek and you believe in open source, so there's two models, right? We've seen the rise of closed source with Microsoft and an open source company like Red Hat.
Wow, Dash looks nice.
Same thing's happening in AI. You have closed source models like OpenAI, and then you have open source models like Llama and DeepSeek. And what I've said
When
is
is
if you
their
believe in
earnings?
DeepSeek and you believe in that open source push, you've got to believe in Meta, and you have to
May
believe in
7th, so it's
Llama
coming
is
up.
doing extremely well. I think U.S. companies will trust.
I don't know how Dash is going to do though,
DeepSeek
because if
right now.
people can't
We've
pay, I heard that
from,
people can't pay
the
for
Databricks who presented
for
to
groceries, that they're
Zuckerberg
putting it on a
stage at the
payment
Meta World
plan. So I
Conference
don't
that they're
know
seeing massive adoption
how
of
good
Llama
that could
and
do.
DeepSeek
Let's look at AMD
together,
for
ensuring that
my friend out there that loves AMD.
together in a better way. So we
Kind of
do
hanging
believe
out.
that there's a free call option in Meta stock around Llama and the emergence of this product, and they haven't figured out how to monetize it in a broader way, but it will help advertisers get.
Well, I'll put an
better
alert in
targeted
case AMD decides to start
users
moving
find the information
above
they
or
need
below the
faster.
orb.
Yeah, that was interesting as well in terms of WhatsApp and their plans there for new revenue growth.
All right, so now VIX is starting to break through that trend line below the 200. But I didn't get the alert that we're above 561.40 yet. See, where are we here? Nope.
I think the way I
Still
look at
trying to
this is
break.
having a kid go to college in the last couple of years, and then you understand this.
I'm looking for big plays, right? Scalps are fun. You're welcome. Yeah, I know you love AMD. Let's look at it here. I want big plays. I don't want these little ones. The ones that by the time I'm done alerting, it's done. Right? You don't want that. So AMD has 98 support and 100 big resistance, 99.80. So that's your playground today. If it comes down to 98
And
holds,
Microsoft can't keep up,
you have room up,
OpenAI can't
or
keep
if we
up,
come up here,
then they
room
need
down.
the ecosystem partners to make
Right
this
now
work.
it's
And
just
I think
in,
you've seen this even in
like
the
the
global
rest of the
ecos
market,
right now.
choppy.
OpenAI handed
Let's
a
start looking at
$100
SPX, and I'll put an
check
alert here in
in the
case
last
we
couple
do
months.
move,
And everyone said, what happened to
because then I'll
Microsoft? And I
consider
think,
calls
again, it goes back to Microsoft still
in case we drop
right
here.
of first refusal. They're strong partners, and they want the best for each other, but they
All right,
also
let's set
have to let each
SPX.
other
What are our
run
ranges today?
enterprises the way that they think they should run it.
There you go. It's like you gotta let those kids go do their own thing. You know,
Let's
they move
look.
out. Well, hopefully
Sad.
they don't forget about you entirely. It is sad. It is. Brent, thank you.
Nope, let's start a move.
No, you won't be for a long time.
Still wiping tushies. As we head to break, here's our roadmap for the rest of the hour. Boardroom drama at Tesla, with reports that it began the process to replace CEO Elon Musk. We've got the latest.
Plus, GM shares are higher.
Still not above the orb on SPY.
Outlook due to tariffs. What is the street focus?
And this just kind of bounced up.
McDonald's with its biggest U.S. sales drop in about 5 years. We'll talk to
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait today because this can be a little. This gap kind of scares me. I don't know, what, 55.46? Is that even worth anything?
These bills are
Let's
crazy.
see.
She has no idea she's sitting on a gold mine. She doesn't know that if she owns a life
Come
insurance
on,
policy,
55.46. That's not worth anything in the deltas. Crap.
Find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. Call Coventry Direct today.
55.45, 9 delta.
Visit CoventryDirect.com.
Your cardiovascular system is at the
Okay,
center of your heart
that's
health,
okay.
center of every blood pressure
I just want to make sure we don't fall
study,
first.
plant-based
If we fall and we hold something like this,
for all the moments you're
yes, or maybe even lower.
at livehuman.com.
How much would that be? 55.45. Not that. What did I say? 9 delta. 30 cents. That's within our what I like. 55.45. Yeah. Because we have all the support. Let's look at the 5-minute. Do we have other defenders? On the 5-minute, we have this guy here, the 21. 15-minute. We have that and that. And the 1 hour. So we do have some defense. This is really the 55.10 was the big defense here. It's like making sure there's something that's going to catch us. How does this look on the daily? That looks good, but you know, if we are too far away from the 9 for sure. We have the 300 and the 50 that will take the place of the 9 for now until the 9 catches up. So 55.81 looks like would be a level that would hold. 55.80. I mean, I'm not going to put it up here, but looking at the higher time frame, I'm going to take a chance. That does look decent.
Hey, Carl, good morning. Yeah, so is cryptocurrency and options trading really driving what
I'm going to wait. I'm just going to be very patient. But the ones that I just said, 55.45,
transaction-based revenue that doubled from a year ago?
that looks good.
9%, but still a multi-year high. The breakdown partially a reflection
The upside, I don't want to get in front of the upside today until we hit a big resistance.
bigger part of mainstream portfolios and that more sophisticated traders are drawn in by the fact that these assets trade 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Most customers still come to us and buy their first stock with us and they build portfolios. But in terms of what drives the revenue, active traders trading
Okay.
options and crypto and increasingly now futures trading.
All of this trading momentum has continued in April amid all
come on.
All right, we'll do that. Kate, thank you.
You can ask me a question on the chat too. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay.
Denies
Here we
the
are.
Wall Street Journal that at least was moving
You're
down
starting to
the road,
push.
was moving towards um, the consideration of a replacement for Elon Musk. Phil LeBeau has
Try to
more
make
on
it
that.
some.
We'll
We'll
also
see how this candle fills out. I may get more calls for today.
Let's start first off with
The calls I have are for next week on SPY.
has a lot of people talking. The report essentially says that, according to people that the journal talked with, there were some directors on the Tesla board who reached out to executive search firms and considered the process or beginning the process for potentially replacing Elon Musk. Now, it never
Yeah, that fake news is not cool.
the Wall Street Journal.
Because then what are we going to trust now?
Tesla. Keep in mind that wasn't long after this report came out that we heard from Chairman Robin Denholm. She said that's not true. They deny the Musk the report that they were considering possibly replacing Elon
Ooh,
Musk.
ooh.
He did
I'm
say
trying to get my account to open, but I would be in calls right now.
time and attention
Come
on
on.
Tesla and less on the Department of Government Efficiency. Let's shift gears and talk about General Motors out with new
The
guidance for
563s I like.
between 10 and 12
There goes Netflix.
this year. That's down
So I'm going to get some calls here.
$3.5 billion compared to the old guidance.
563. This is my hesitation is this, the NQ.
That's before the government offsets.
Your AMD is making lower highs or higher, yeah, higher highs or lower highs. I always get them confused. I don't know why, but you can see that it's starting to slowly push up. That could be ready to go. All right, so let's put SPY. Calls. I got in the 563 at 148.
Happen in the showroom in terms of pricing. Their sales up 16.2%. Not a surprise to hear that the EV demand gets off considerably, down 39.4% in the month of April.
All right, so we have a little bit of resistance, but we have some support down here. There it is. It's starting to open up.
We've talked about Tesla's board before and how this company doesn't necessarily follow the traditional path on corporate governance. There's been board drama and headlines before. Can you just remind us of what it looks like?
I mean, in terms of the board, in terms of
Board
composition,
makeup.
are they all
It's getting
handpicked?
smaller, right?
Well, they've added a few more outsiders, so to speak, and on the Tesla board. But let's be clear here, Sarah. Let's not fool anybody. The sun rises and sets with Elon Musk at Tesla. He's the largest shareholder, and while there may have been some directors who may not have been happy that he was spending so much time and attention on helping the federal government cut costs while not focusing as much attention on Tesla, when that share started sliding, they finally may have said, and this is according to the journal, hey, what's going on here?
Okay, come on, push. We have 562.60, next level.
Board of any company to do. The stock is cratering. Let's find out exactly how committed the CEO is. And Elon Musk remains committed to Tesla. He made that clear on the conference call. He's not going
Yeah, we have some resistance, 56.65, but let's see if we can break.
wandering eye and a wandering mind in terms of something else might come up and take his attention away for a day, a week, a month, who knows.
Well, like he said in the cabinet meeting, he wears many hats, right? Literally and figuratively. Thank you, Phil. Phil LeBeau. After the break, the head of the U.S.
Let me see if I can make it
with some strong words when it comes to tariffs, saying
public for now.
growth at the worst possible time.
Where was I there?
Next, don't go anywhere.
CNBC Crypto World is
Where did we go before here?
trusted by over 100 million users worldwide.
No.
Is this your dream of retirement? How about this sweet deal? I like fishing. Or is this a little more your style? Retiring wealth isn't a guarantee, it's a goal. It's easy when markets are going
How
up.
did I do that
What about
before?
when they're not? That's why you need this.
Call for Fisher's Retirement Survival Kit, featuring your guide to surviving market volatility, our stock market outlook, plus the Fisher Investments difference.
I gotta get better at doing this.
Yours free for calling
But it should still be streaming, right? I hope so. Hope I didn't mess it up.
Fisher Investments' disciplined approach will help see you through the market's ups and downs and give you the
Yeah, it should be still streaming.
Our fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Call now for your free retirement survival kit. 1-800-213-5317.
See if your dream retirement is on track.
If your portfolio is $1 million or more, call Fisher today. Call 1-800-213-5317.
There we go. We're pushing through. Very nice.
Reading this book because when you see the returns you can be
Get
taking
it.
out options versus stocks, you'll realize that in today's market, buying and holding stocks alone is not an option. The simple, beginner-friendly option strategies you'll learn in our new book.
Come on, push.
To a whole new level. And today we'll give you a copy for free. Get your free copy while they last at it's not an option.
Very nice push there.
Option.com.
Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1932 $10 gold Indian coins have been found. These gorgeous 1932 gold coins are as bright and shiny.
Problem is we are too far away from the 9.
400 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery.
That's the only problem. So we're probably going to come down, hold that.
When you call, you are guaranteed
Alright, let me fix the fibs here.
coin featuring Lady Liberty with
As I was looking at this before, I wanted to see where we can drop to.
you must call now. These 1932 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 92 years of history you can hold in your hand.
Right there is our low.
870-6353. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus over a $55 value free with every order. Call 1-888-870-6353
There's our top.
to secure your 1932 $10 gold Indian coins before they sell out. Don't wait. You must act fast. Call now.
CNBC is your ticket to the annual Berkshire Hathaway meeting. Warren Buffett meets with shareholders. Becky Quick and Mike Santoli with full coverage. Watch live on air or on CNBC.com.
Alright,
Starts
so
Saturday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern.
where does this fall? Did it hit our 23% yet?
CNBC.com/plus. Now.
U.S. Chamber of
We're still
Commerce
good.
calling for a swift end to tariffs that they say will harm American businesses, workers, and consumers. President and CEO
Looks
Susan
good.
Collins
AMD's
said
starting to wake
yesterday
up.
there are taxes paid by Americans. She joins us now along with our own Megan Cassell.
We're up 10% on the calls that we have.
Carl, thank you, and Suzanne, thank you for joining me. We're here today because Lower launching this lobbying push, asking for tariff exclusions, mostly for small businesses. And this comes just about exactly a month after most of these tariffs have been announced. Why this approach, and why only now?
Thank you so much for being here and for the question. Look, at the end of the day, we were just getting inundated by small business requests for information, for relief, people afraid for the very survival of their business. And it just felt that it's hard for them to hire
Come
marketers
on.
and lawyers and make the
Trying to
on their
push,
own.
but I understand again because we're too far away.
Deeply about the economy, about Main Street businesses, and we wanted to make sure that their stories, their need for relief was really pushing through.
56.65 is our level we need to get through, to break through.
21, 21, and opted not
Hopefully
to do
get
that
some
this time.
momentum, but if we come down to 56.50
It's a great question.
to 50, there's some
Questions about the use of
support there. Hold on 1 second. Let me see who's calling me. Okay, I guess people call and hang up. All right, so still waiting on this. We need to break through this level. As everything that we know, when we go up, we can't continue going up. We need a pullback in order to break through. That's where we're at.
Slowing down this regulatory onslaught of the Biden administration, about extending the tax cuts, about energy production, about permitting, when people were excited
All right,
about
so
the
we're at the
growth in
23.
the United States. And by the way, we're excited about the potential
Where's
for
our
free
VIX?
trade. We tried to get the Biden administration for years to do a free trade deal. We think that's great for American businesses, great for
VIX
American
has
families.
resistance up
But
here,
these tariffs are just adding uncertainty
and this
and
trend line.
complexity at a time when these small
So we'll
businesses
see what it
just don't
does
have
here.
much way to cover it.
I'm curious if litigation might still be an option for you guys, because I want to play some sound for you. We asked the White House this morning to respond to your letter. Take a listen to this.
All right, so we have some support here.
Businesses is going to come in the form of the largest tax cut in American history.
No tariff relief for small businesses in the short term.
It's a yes on tax relief for small businesses.
Come on,
So that was
hold.
Stephen Miller responding to our Amy Jabbers, suggesting there was not tariff relief coming, that taxes would have to be the way to go. What's your response to that?
Well, first, my
It's
response
building
is
here
this
with
is great. This is a
Yep, there's some volume. We need bigger volume though to hold this. This looks good, but when you see the red and the green fighting at the same time with the same volume, that's not good. It really has to be bigger green to hold us. So next support is 560.80. See 560. That's too low. Okay. Alright, so I'm just watching to see if the ES holds here, the 9, because it has to. It has to hold for us to continue. We're getting some resistance here, which is good from the VIX. We need to drop back down. Okay. Tesla's actually looking better. RSI is a bit hot. Meta's kind of frozen in time there. Yeah, Tesla looks decent. How much? What about Tesla? Okay, better volume. Super cheap, so you can buy a few. Make sure there's no resistance. 290 resistance on this. 292, 295. 290 is up. 290 was the level? Yeah. It's too far away from the 9. Everything's too far away from the 9. Except for ES, right? Came down to the 9. Now we look better. And Q came down to the 200 and the 9. That looks good. Nice push. Okay. There we are. There goes SPY. 15%. Nice. I'm going to take some here. I took some off here, 15%. Come on, VIX, if we continue. Looks good. DMI is still pointing up. DMI for the ES, green side, is still pointing up.
Nailed the colors on this. There's a great range of color in there. The grain pattern, the comb look to it is fantastic. It doesn't have that like weird plasticky look.
Come on, there we go. Nice push. Here's your 15% in case you missed it.
Your investment made sense.
Discovering innovation today helps drive growth tomorrow. As a leading global asset manager, PGIM has established a track record of helping investors
Nice push. I don't know. This is kind of making me want to now put credit. But I'm going to be patient and wait just in case they're just playing games with us and they're going to bring it down only to bring it back up.
I find it challenging to come up with a gift that's really impactful, something that really makes a difference. Jolie has been a tremendous gift. It's something that is not only looks beautiful, but makes us feel amazing, and is something that we get to use every day.
Okay. Come on, push, push, push.
But our makeup needs change. That's why I created Water Foundation. It's ultra moisturizing and helps
562.40. Need to break through that to get to 563. Come on, push.
Welcome back. I'm Leslie Picker with your
You
CBC
see,
update. The Trump administration released
at
today
this,
a new
let's
review
see
of
where,
transgender healthcare, which calls for more believable
just
care
natural
for
gas, nothing.
healthcare for young people. It aligns with the president's earlier executive order saying the government would now support transitions for anyone under 19. Meanwhile, a shakeup in the world's most populous country, India, will include caste details in its next census. Critics of using the ancient social hierarchy system say the move could cause unrest, while supporters say it's needed to implement social justice programs. And Buena Vista Social Club, Death Becomes Her and Maybe Happy Ending led the way in Tony nominations this morning.
There we go.
Earning 10 nods. The star's seventh season also includes nominations for George Clooney, Sarah Snook, and Sadie Sink. Out of such a competitive
There we go. 17% on those still in these.
Nothing for Denzel or Jake, though.
or Adina.
Yeah, I know. Plus some teams, those were very good.
Perfect conversation.
28, no, that's total. Total with the ones for next week, up 28%. Is that what it is? I guess it's, yeah, it's total. Okay. But individually for the call debit for next week is up 37. Here we go, 23 on this one. Let's see, where's our next level that may have an issue. They're clearing the way right now. 563 slightly.
The U.S. fast food market was really weak in the first quarter, and they had a launch of a value platform, the McValue, which is
Yep,
basically
here's our orb. 563.25 is the first level.
and helped their traffic a bit. But it wasn't
Looks like it's targeting 563.80 up here.
$5 type
563.80.
ticking from here. So
563.80. Yep, that matches. Okay. So if we can get through it, 563.80 looks amazing.
from their overseas commentary, which is
I'm going to take a little bit more off here though. 25% is very nice.
lower income, kind of fleeing restaurants, that's spreading in the middle income, and then this notion that people are cutting back on breakfast, which as you and I talked about for years is widely seen as a proxy for employment. Why would you stop there for breakfast if you didn't have a job to go to? How worrisome is that? Breakfast is a big business for them. They're trying to lean in as some of their competitors are leaning out on breakfast. You've seen breakfast as optional, for example.
Very nice. And this is the target that it has. I don't know if we'll get there, but let's see. Let's look at other time frames.
In traffic visits for those low income, probably under 50,000 income. Last year that started.
How is this looking?
Particularly hard time with that consumer because they had raised
Yeah, it looks good on the higher time frame.
almost 40%.
So if I was going to target this, I would go even a little bit higher.
The good news
564.60 maybe.
that value perception with these value menus.
See if we get that.
This year, unlike last year, they're going to gain share with that cohort. And it seems pretty likely that they're going to do fine with them relative to the market.
Okay, let's see. Push more. DMI is starting to get a little flat, which makes sense. It's fine, but you know, I would like quicker money. So let me adjust these fibs.
Recession before there was a threat of recession elsewhere. So
here to here.
Suffering alongside of the worst. I mean, they were really, really getting hit. Remember a pre-election, people were talking about how much Big Macs were versus where they were before COVID.
But they addressed that, so shouldn't it be getting better?
It is getting
Yep.
better, but the problem is their check needs to reinflate, and they need to go back to their previous value message, which is those $5 meals that they launched last year. So between the premium strips, the re-hit of that $5, $6
Meta still.
Taco Bell, for example, they're going to get back. They got some traction last year before the E. coli incident kind of shortchanged them. They'll get that, reinflate the check with premium strips, and then McWrap comes back.
Oh jeez, I hate when this happens when it doesn't do what it wanted to do.
Friendly items. So that all that's happening in the next few months, which is really good news.
I'm literally clicking the arrow, the pointer. Alright, and the hand still appears. Alright.
Well, a big part of today's rally on Wall Street, tech. Look at the top gainers on the NASDAQ 100. No surprise, Microsoft on top. Look at that, zooming 9.3% right now. Meta also an earnings winner up 6%.
Oh, come on, Spy.
Actually, pretty good run for the Magnificent Seven. Apple, Microsoft,
563 came in.
we've got Amazon and Apple coming later today. Tesla, the only miss there. The stock goes flat after the company debunked.
Alright, I'll give it till 561.79. We'll see. Hopefully the 9 will hold it here and push it back up. And this will be the last play, but if you have questions, definitely ask me so I can, or message here on the chat, and I will answer them if you need clarification. I'm glad that we got one decent play, and I was very patient with this. Because imagine if I had gotten in earlier. I'm just looking here at ES, but from the open, right, I could have said, okay, we're dropping. Oh, wait, now we're going up. Oh, wait, now we're going down. Oh, now we're going up. This was the right one. But because of the news is what I was waiting for. And it takes a few minutes for it to digest. Right, this would have been great. Okay, we're in puts. Fabulous. Looks great. Up until 10 o'clock. Boom. So when we have news days, it's just better to be very patient. Right, so notice even this here. Oh, this is a good... Let me put an alert here just in case this comes below. I'm going to put break even for these runners, you know. Okay, so this is important. I want to show you this actually now that I'm looking at it. So 10 o'clock news comes out. Right, great. You see this push and you're thinking, is this real? Right? Is this real? Notice how this is my support that I already had this in. Notice how this candle came in to hit that support. It came in here, and then it's almost like a double bottom here. This was really the candle, a 10-12, to get in. This hammer right here, that was it. So remember that. You see it push up one into wherever your support is, like even here from the pre-market. I mean, when the market opened right here, it didn't want to give up this level. Right, and notice I have it charted. I mean, I can go and show you how or why I have it there. But this is your level that it's checking to make sure there's support here, and here again is your support. All right, so where did that level come from? Where did this level come from? I think I had it. Well, just looking at this, I was looking at the top of this candle from before, from the morning, and I saw all this congestion here. So this is why I put that level there. All here, but let's see to specify why. Because of this. See how that hit support, and bounced? So I was looking for a level here's another support. So here's that for the top part. For the bottom part, let me see if maybe it's clear on the 1 minute. I was basically looking at where it was playing around with this level here, the bottom part, where it hit support, support, and then turned. So that's what I was looking at. But it lined up perfectly with today. Even here now, looking at this, yeah, this is it. It's support here, support here, support here in the morning at 9:06, and then that's where it played around. So that's why I picked those levels. Now we're still going up. Oh, wow, we're at 23%. Perfect. Look at that. Coming back down. What happened? It's that 563. That's already twice. I don't like it. I don't know if we can get above it now. That's twice. I may just take the remaining money that I have for today if we don't bounce here quickly. Get ready. Yep, I think I'm going to take it. 21, let's see, 20%. I'm taking it 20%. Let's see. Come on, get a little closer. 23%. That's it, I'm good. 23%. Cashed out. Yep, I'm out. All right, the SPY for next week I'm leaving open. Unless you want to take some gains here, maybe we should. It's at 38%. How many do I have left? I don't have that many left. I believe this is going to go up more, but we're up 37%, so if you want more, you should take it. Yep. Just in case, look at this. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if we'll make it all the way up here. That's one too many for me for it to try to break through. The probability is that we're going to drop a little bit, but at least I made some money today. This is all together what I have with the call debit. How much I made today all together. I'm still waiting with Meta, so we'll see what it does for tomorrow. Actually, I may actually roll. I may just roll this Meta. All right. So I made. I just posted in the group. I made 5,997 here. That's what I posted. That's what I made on the trade, and taking some off of the call debit that I did yesterday. So I think I got paid well today. We can break, maybe. Just being cautious. I made enough. I don't want to play with that money. SPX, I am going to wait because I don't know what games they're going to have. Like I said, this could very well. I mean, it's holding it up. Actually, it's a nice little trend here. that it's having. But I want to see if they're going to drop it. If they drop it, they hit some support here, then I'm going to get into the put credit. For the upside, I don't know, again, I don't know if I want to get in it, but if we start dropping, I could do a quick scalp with the SPX to the downside. Call credit as it drops and then take 50% like yesterday. That could be an idea. Right, when you start seeing this, it's just hard for you to want to go against it. There's Tesla, there's AMD. AMD still chopping. Nvidia. Netflix. See Apple. Apple's starting to drop a little bit. Technically, it is building a bit of a flag here. So just have your fibs ready and see where it lands. But yeah, all right, so a European close is coming in at 11. I'll leave it there. Just a demonstration live of trading, being patient, waiting for the setup, and taking it. All right, so I'll be on chat. Let me know.